Um, Now, as far as the context of how new is learning disabilities and how public schools accommodate them, I'm going to say that it was surprising for me because when you were in second grade, your teacher was Miss Sanford. Was that correct?
Shodus was second grade. First grade was Sanford. Second grade was Miss Shodus.
Okay, so Miss Sanford. So you were in the first grade, and Miss Sanford was a brand new teacher who was hired on a grant. You were in her first group of students that she had ever taught.
Yes.
And I was there to pick you up, and I had an aide with me. That was pre-Sarah. And Mr. Kincaid goes, Mr. McMillan, could you go talk to Miss Sanford? I'm like, oh, okay. And I went down to the classroom, and Miss Sanford said, hey, I just want to talk to you for a minute. And the amazing thing was, she wanted to explain to me that she was concerned about your stutter, but she was afraid that I would be angry that I was telling you that you potentially had this problem. And that she was like really scared. She was almost like defensive when she made this presentation. And the thing is, the reality of the situation is that I had noticed that you developed a stutter. And I remember that I was a stutterer. And she's like, we have ways that we can help her. And she was very tentative about it, and it was almost like she was scared I was going to be angry with her. And I wasn't angry. And I said, I think that's great. And so we agreed to have a meeting, and so it was me and your mom, and so this was your individual educational plan meeting. So there was Mr. Kincaid, your teacher, Mom, me. You weren't there. There was the learning disability coordinator, whatever, who Sandberg had full-time. The literacy coach, and see, I'm getting upset. There was a speech pathologist.
Yeah.
And Sandberg shared a speech pathologist between 3 elementary schools. I remember sitting there in this room, and there's all these resources that were available. And I'm crying now. I started to cry then, because I remembered there was nothing there for me. And I was so happy that we were at a school that had these resources there, and they were going to individualize, look at you and say, well, this is Rachel's needs, and this is her strengths, or these are her weaknesses, and this is how we can take her strengths and use those to leverage and build her weaknesses and reduce them. And I was literally moved by that, because I didn't want you or any other kid that wasn't the quote, that didn't fit in the quote normal box, to ever feel that they were stupid, or they didn't have the ability to learn, or they couldn't be the maximum whatever they are, you know. So yeah, that's.
Is that the call?
If anyone's else listening to this, we're at work. That's the test page.
Good afternoon, 4 o'clock test. Engine 12 is out of service. All the units are available. End of test.
You know, and I watched a video of you teaching. And yeah, you have some of my mannerisms. You do. You talk with your hands. And at the same time, every once in a while, that gesture that you make with your hands is you go this. And so what does that mean to me? You do that, and you use that tapping of your hands. And I know what it is.
Was I taught that?
Is
that me getting my words out?
Yes. And the thing is, I know it is because the language pathologist explained, because we had a follow-up meeting with you, or with them, how you were progressing, all that other stuff. They were going to teach you those skills. And there's that thing where that physical stimulation of your hands helps you articulate the words that are in your head, but they're just, the mechanical part won't work. And you don't do it very often anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And no one else notices it.
Well, and no one knows that I have a stutter, but there are times where I repeat a word twice, but I move over it so fast that people don't recognize it. Because I'm reading a book right now called Paperboy. We had the choice to pick.
7 good test. Yeah, so
we had the choice to pick a book in a book club to read, and I picked one about a kid with a stutter. And then I talked about when we met and we read the first 6 chapters and talked about it. I was like, I relate to this book, not as badly as he, because he could not say it. This kid couldn't say anything when he was trying to speak, but I was like, I have a stutter, and because I still think I do to some extent. It's not gone, but I say things wrong. And I have that stutter in that video. Did you see it? Loveland. I said Loveland like 3 times. I could not say the words lovely London.
Lovely London.
I went Loveland, and the kids kind of laughed, and then I was like, lovely London. Like, I had to look at it.
Well, that's also a tongue twister too. But
Yeah, but I get caught on words like that sometimes, and my classmates were like, oh, we didn't know that. And I said, well, because I've worked so hard through it, but there are times where I repeat a word twice, but I get over it so fast that no one notices it, because that's just how I talk. And we all know each other really well,
right.
to some extent now, because we all have the same classes together. So, going back, so I had an IEP.
Yes.
For how long?
4th grade. 5th grade. 4th or 5th grade. We didn't continue. It was not necessary to continue it on. But see, you never even knew, did you?
No.
No. But you do remember going talking to the speech pathologist.
I do. I remember when I was older, yeah. Because I really wanted the puppet. She had a puppet as prize if you reached goals. I don't remember what we did or how much I was taken out.